When gentrification hits a decaying neighborhood, a silent battle ensues. Those who have been around for generations are resistant to the new intruders. Gentrification could rip the community apart.
All right. It is an issue that hits very close to home for many New Yorkers. Gentrification, driving up rental prices in neighborhoods all across the city and pricing out longtime residents and old-timers.
Since when we need a newsletter? We just talk to each other, tell each other what's going on. We don't need to write nothing down.
I've been here 53 years. Since when we had a block association?
Since when we have a lot of things. Starbucks and Whole Foods.
What they think we had before? Half food?
It's the plot of a new play taking center stage at the Riverside Theatre starting tonight. Joining us this morning is the playwright Hope Lynn Price, along with legendary director and professor Vera Katz, actresses Judy Leak and E. Dawn Samuel. So great to have all four of you here this morning.
Oh, we're so happy to be here.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Hope, let's begin with you first and foremost, right? And why you decided to actually go ahead and write this play.
Well, actually, my daughter told me about an incident that happened in her neighborhood, which was newly gentrified at the time, and it was about a clever hustle that some of the black teenagers had come up with to make money from their new white neighbors, and it was so funny to me that it inspired me to just write about it and write about the whole situation of gentrification. And but that's what inspired me. So it started with an incident, and from there I wanted to delve much more deeply into the whole gentrification issue.
And it's so many people can relate to it.
Yes.
And that's just it as well.
Yes.
And to have someone like Professor Katz being a part of this production. I must mention, Professor Katz, you've helped shape the careers of some of Hollywood's greatest. I mean, Lynn Whitfield, Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen, Taraji Henson, the late Chadwick Boseman. So it's really an honor to have you here this morning, so we appreciate you being here. But you're also a native New Yorker. You taught at Howard University. So you saw these changes firsthand, right?
Yes. You mean the gentrification
Yeah, the
changes?
gentrification and how much different it looked back then to what it looks like now.
Yes,
right?
yes. Well, teaching at Howard taught me a lot about people that I needed to get to know better, and that was very helpful. But teaching at Howard taught me about what talent is and how talent combined with intelligence and being well-read and understanding long hours, arduous work can do for you.
Yeah.
So it's not just about a quick fix or fame or money, as many young folk think. It's about laborious work, and it's about being well-read.
Yes.
The beautiful thing about Chadwick Boseman was that he knew who he was. He was very grounded in self-belief and self-understanding. As a result, he was interested in what he didn't know. And so he was always interested in learning about, you know, British plays, Shakespeare plays, the classics, etc. In contrast to a lot of other students, he was able to take it all in and eventually in his own way use it in his work.
Yeah, I like that whole description of well-read, and it's all about the journey and not that quick fix. The journey is part of the process. And Judy, I want to talk to you about your character in this specific show, right? We saw a little bit on the stage right there. You're playing Ella, not too happy with some of the new neighbors who are moving in.
Ella is the longest resident in that area, and her unhappiness stems from her idea that she's been undervalued, underestimated, and marginalized. So she feels that she is the mayor, if you will, of that particular block.
Yeah.
All right. And E. Dawn Samuel, your character is Avis?
Yes.
Tell us about her.
Avis is entrenched in the relationship with Ella. And yes, they are the best of friends, the best of friends. And her relationship with the neighborhood and with Ella and her family are so grounded and set. She does not want change. She does not want to lose her family, which is Ella. they've lived next door to each other for 50 years. They finish each other's sentences. So the relationship between the two is what really compelled me in creating the character, that love and that relationship. What happens to her happens to me.
Right.
Yeah.
What hurts her heart hurts my heart.
Yeah.
And I find that so compelling and interesting. The words that Hope has given us to play are so compelling and so poignant and significant to what's happening right now. It makes the two characters just
So real.
It's so real.
Yeah, and you know,
so perfect.
My friend used to live on 137th Street, and there was a mayor of that block, right? And she owned that block, and she was on the stoop every day, and she knew who was coming and going. And so many of those are kind of vanishing now. And
Of course.
It's so interesting listening to you talk about the Whole Foods and the Starbucks and what's coming into the communities, right? Because at the core of it all are still those folks who really made these communities
Of
and
course.
these neighborhoods and made
And
them
like
what they
any
are.
other mayor, she wants to be consulted
Yeah,
about any changes that take place.
Well, Hope, what do you want folks to take away from the play?
Understanding. One of the important things about this play is that it shows every perspective. And I think also, more importantly, I don't think it's really been fully understood and acknowledged how African Americans have been affected from so many different aspects by gentrification. And this play illuminates that. And it's really just to open up the lines of communication and for people to better understand one another so that we can, you know, figure out how to make this thing work, you know. And so.
She has some wonderful lines in it. God can make, what is that line about God can make a
God can turn a
Hot mess
into
into
greatness.
greatness. God can make a hot mess into greatness.
I love that.
Yes, she has a number of really well-written lines, and the other thing is this play helps both races understand what they need to do. We've got to all learn to work together,
Yeah.
she says at the end of the play.
Unity.
And I think that we also say we have to learn not just how to live next door to each other, but to live alongside one
Yeah.
another.
Yes.
Which is so
And
true.
that's a global statement, I believe.
Yes.
And there's kind of been like a silent war, you know, but this kind of just brings it all out. And it, you know, basically promotes really understanding the effects of gentrification and how, you know, we can make this thing work, but certain things have to be acknowledged and certain things need to happen.
And you will laugh and
That's
cry.
important.
Laugh
We need that.
and cry.
And cry. Get it all.
Laugh and cry.
Appreciate you all coming in. All
Thank
four of
you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
us.
Important work, yes.
Best of luck with the
Thank
show.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Riverside Theater.
There you go.
And tonight is opening night for the Intruders play at the Riverside Theatre, and it runs through Sunday. Tickets are still available, so go
Amazing.
run and get them.